You are listening to the Hello Sport podcast.
All right, we rolling. Yes. Welcome back to the Hello Sport podcast, home of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. Joining you today are two men of relative levels of brokenness after weekends that, you know, a good double bouncing. I don't know if we've had a double bouncing this weekend of a weekend for a while where we both sort of just come in shells of ourselves. Usually it's one or the other, one or t'other.
One or t'other, but this week, certainly both.
Yeah.
You had a Bucks, I think.
I had back-to-back Bucks.
Yeah, back-to-back Bucks.
Yeah, so you know how, like, end of last year, it was like, oh, we got Origin 3 weeks in a row. I've got that, but more. I've gone buck, wedding.
Seriously? So this weekend you got a wedding?
Yeah,
And then
next weekend I got another wedding. So if you think Origin's tough,
Buck wedding's massive.
yeah.
Well, I went down to Melbourne, which was tremendous. Friend of the show, Ed Meyer,
Yes.
his 30th,
Happy birthday, Edward.
down on a beautiful piece of land outside of Sorrento, Tom,
Oh, lovely.
down on the Mornington Peninsula, which he also doubled as his engagement, which he did the day before.
Huge. So he surprised everyone, was like, yo. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well done. Big
Michelle's
lift.
picked like a dirty nose.
That's also, like, really efficient use of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just roll the events together.
Yep.
I mean, if he could have rolled something else in there, like
would
a
have been
snap wedding,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you're really talking.
Fucking, or and I don't know, obviously, his religious proclivities, but a circumcision, you know? Has he got a kid?
No.
Okay, that wouldn't work then.
Well, he could circumcise himself. If he hasn't already.
If he hasn't already, if there was a need, if it was just the spirit of efficiency.
Look, line up for your free circumcisions
Yeah,
in the spirit of all in the spirit of
In the
efficiency.
spirit of efficiency, come get the snip. Was it a good time?
Yeah, look, you know, besides that, it was all pretty fun. Yeah.
Oh, pretty good, yeah. It wasn't what you were expecting. Not exactly.
No, not really. No.
Yeah, you
Look,
come for the 30th, you leave for the circumcision.
leave with that after penis.
Oh, fuck.
Like marking lambs. Anyway. No, bloody great weekend. Fucking big Texas themed, obviously. So I went around to friend of the show, Jack Archdale's home.
Of course,
to get his everyday
Yeah.
gear.
Yeah, exactly.
And then wear it to a party.
His day-to-day clothing.
Yeah,
I'm
Jarch
going to look like a Texas fuckwit party. Can I borrow your day-to-day clothes, please?
Can I borrow what you wear to work? So I had a professional bull riding top on and like those bolo ties, which he's worn to weddings before. You know, this like ostrich skin belt. It looked terrific.
No,
I
look,
got
it
many
looks,
comments.
If it looks great if you're dressing up.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's like, if I see you in a Char-Grilled Charlie's with a fucking cowboy hat on and boots and like a studded shirt on like a Wednesday, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, an arseless chap.
Yeah.
But shout out to Jack for, you know, lending it to
Was
to
the
me.
shirt that he gave you the one that's like blue with horses running across the top of it?
No. I think that's that's from his new range.
Yeah, it is.
And
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed that.
Oh,
well,
bullshit.
I don't know if I wasn't allowed it. He didn't recommend it. He recommended his pro bull riding shirt black.
Okay.
It's classy.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
Look, I mean, he
You know,
knows.
look like I'm a ringer from the top end.
Yeah,
he jumps on bulls.
Probably
for
gives
fun.
you a bit more legitimacy when he wears that one with the shirts, the horses running across the top of
Yeah.
the shirt. I mean,
But I think I need to give a shout out, Tom, and shout out to Jew.
yeah.
To the supplier of the food, they did one of the best croquettes I've ever had in
Really?
my life. Now,
Can we just get what the fuck's a croquette?
like
Croquet, you don't.
like a croquette? It's
Yeah, but like what's in it? Like
this one was
Does
filled with
anyone
like
really know?
sort of a cheesy potatoey
oh,
sort of vibe.
gotcha. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like
Just little balls of food, right?
yeah, that's exactly right. Sort of hard on the outside and soft,
Soft.
on
They're
the
a bit
inside.
sort of like schnitzel on the outside.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
These things were fucking unbelievable.
Really?
And I wouldn't be able to get through the show without mentioning
No,
it.
dude, no, nor should you. It would have fucking eaten away at you.
It would have, and it has been ever
Yeah.
since I, touched down last night.
Yeah.
So shout out to that. Shout out to Eddie Meyer. Congrats on the engagement to GG. Terrific stuff.
Huge. Big lifts all round.
Big lifts all round.
And also a shout out to efficiency.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, in the spirit of efficiency, it sounded like it was an efficient weekend.
it was.
Well, I have to also hand out congratulatory shout-outs to friend of the show, Jack McLennan, his Bucks, Sherman. Fantastic weekend. Down to Barrel, my old stomping ground, Eddie. So I felt very at ease already getting back in there. It was like, good kid comes home to rapturous sort of applause and shit. You're seeing people, in town. Oh, that's where, that's where I used to get the mail. post office. That's that's where I used to get my school shoes and shit. So that was a nice feeling for me. Already off the bat, I was calm. And then, with the freedom of 2 days to rip and tear with your good friends, I certainly let the hair down. Unleashed, played a bit of golf, played bad, so hungover that me and Joyce and this other dude that we were playing with, John, like Ambrose, we just bailed after the 7th hole. Went, fuck it. Nah, we're out. We just went back to the fucking clubhouse and drank.
Mate, golf on a Bucks is such a big day.
Dude, like it's great fun, but this was a Mount Broughton. Shout out to Mount Broughton. Tough course. Basically,
course.
If you don't hit it on the fairway, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Just
You won't
ball leader
find it.
central.
You won't
It's snaky. You don't want to, it's not worth going in there. But it was just fucking impossible. And after playing all right the week before at Bucks 1.0 or whatever you call it, I came down with a bit of confidence and I just played like shit. I reckon I lost 15 balls. So we just went to the bar. But yeah, it was just a great time by all. Look, I will say, no, you know what? I won't get into the stripper side of things because it was just a weird one. Stripper was weird, but that's all right. I'm not really a big stripper at Bucks parties, if I can just lay that out on the line. The weirdest part of the whole weekend was, and this is, I think, maybe the enthusiasm of fit people, was at 11 o'clock at night on the Saturday. So we had second day in. Joyce and friend of the show, Jack Marples, decide, and apologies to both if you didn't want your names mentioned, Matthew Jacobs, Jack Marples, decided to fucking have a beep test. 11 o'clock at night, maybe
As
later,
in a fair income one?
full blown, and you know what? I was disappointed because we hadn't released our beep test yet, and I thought they could have used ours. Would have been a great opportunity, but you know what? Just by judging these fucking...
When did we
dead
do that
shits,
beep test?
August 2020, yeah.
August?
Yeah.
Was it not June?
No, it was August because it was post Streety's birthday. Anyway, still coming, punters, dribblers. I mean, I'd say definitely don't hold your breath because you'd be dead already, but it is coming. I've never been more confident of anything other than Manly Premiership than that beep test is en route. But they just went for it, bro. And listen, not to reveal what I got in my beep test, which is going to be revealed soon when it comes out, but they fucking beat what they just got, just below what you got when you did it. They're fucking weapons.
Yeah.
And Joyce, the level of disrespect that Joyce is so fit, right? He's one of those mates that is just a bit of a he doesn't do anything, right? But he just somehow can just show up and fucking, it's like he's blood doping for no reason except for if he gets called upon to do a beep test
At
12
p.m.
at 12 p.m. at a Bucks, 12 a.m. at a Bucks. But he just put sand shoes on. He was in jeans and a shirt. Marps, the poor bastard, goes and gets his shorts and a t-shirt on, takes it seriously. Joyce, the level of disrespect he showed just to get, I'll just put some fucking joggers on, and then just still won. But I was sitting there watching it going, I feel like vomiting just watching
Was
it do
this
it.
so this was a competition between the two of them?
Dude, they had money on the line. And
How much?
Not much even. It was $100. And Marps didn't even want to do it. And Joyce just kept trying to sweeten the deal for him so that he would do it. I'm watching going, why the fuck do you want to do this so bad? It's it's not the money for you either. It's the competitive midnight beep test.
The midnight beep test, day 2 of a Bucks, is a fucking huge day.
I wasn't sure what I was seeing. I was like, I can't believe this.
I saw the footage you put up on Hello Sport. I was like, are those motherfuckers doing a beep test?
Yeah.
Joyce looked like he was going early to me.
Joyce was at one point fading.
Did look like he was waiting for the beep.
Oh no, there was some conjecture there. We had to get him to start. We had to start holding them as they'd get to either end because they were pushing it. But then Joyce started fading. It was a real seesawing affair. We thought Joyce was out, and then it was that almost made him not go out. So everyone's like, "Well, fuck, he's fading." And then Marps was like, "Fuck, this guy just doesn't quit." Anyway, weird. I loved it though. I got to see something I've never seen before. But I would not be surprised if I saw it again, next week at the wedding. Or whenever the fuck the wedding is. Because I think they've done it before. This is a thing they do when they get flogged. I can't even work out the mental steps that you have to take to want to do that. With the greatest respect.
Well, you've got to run out of chat almost.
Yeah.
What else have I got to offer this party?
I think all I've got at this point is beeping.
Look, it's either a beep or a bed
Or
for
a
me.
bed for me. Why not roll it into 2? I'll do the beat, then straight to bed. Head out on a bang. Anyway, that was my weekend, Eddie. It was great. Tell you what doesn't get any easier? Parenting when you get home.
No, I bet not.
No. But that doesn't matter. Shout out to Evie Rose for going the big lift with Dad yesterday and just keeping me on my toes for the remaining hours before she went to bed. And then waking up all early in the morning, like 2, so I had fucking very little sleep on a Monday.
Shout out to Evie Rose.
Shout out to Evie Rose. Shout out to Eddie Meyer. Shout out to Jack McLennan. Shout out to Efficiency.
Let's talk sport.
Rugby league's back. Eddie, Eddie, rugby league is upon us again.
It is.
The cloud that is the month of February lifting
Has lifted,
dissipated, fading away into nothingness. And the greatest game of all, God's winter game, your game, my game, Australia's game is back. That is the game of rugby league football kicking off Thursday. What, fucking 8 o'clock? Is that when these things happen usually?
I think it's about 8 o'clock, Tom.
8 o'clock Thursday.
South Storm. Absolute ripper out of the gate.
That's a really wet, hot game to start things off with.
Well, depending who you listen to, Tom, could be a grand final preview.
I heard some interesting stats around South, and obviously we're going to get into the weeds a bit more on this shit in our brand new punting show. If my voice doesn't fucking break like it did just sound like I'm 14, about even best punting show around. Probably we haven't even filmed it yet, but that's what I assume. Souths have never won in Melbourne. Dior that, but I'm pretty sure Souths have never won in Melbourne, and
Ever.
I know that sounds ridiculous, doesn't it?
It does sound ridiculous.
Yeah. I heard that on the radio. Now, I either heard it or I dreamt it. They're the two options.
You either,
I either heard that or I dreamt it.
Or you didn't hear the end of the sentence in the last 3 years.
In the last, exactly, in the last 3 years, 2 years, yeah. Never? Seems hard to believe. Well, this is what I've heard. And then also Melbourne, they're like round 1. Record is pretty hot. And by hot, I mean, I'm pretty sure Bellamy's lost like 1 first round. Is that what Michael said?
Yeah, but you were right. They've never won in Melbourne. Of the, I think there's 26 times Storm and Souths have played. Souths have won 4 times. It's one of the worst, win percentages against.
So you've gotta like Storm opening round.
Yeah, you got to
love them.
You got to love them. But then maybe if there's, I don't know what the odds are. The odds be out. Yeah, probably not. Teamless Tuesdays probably when you get the odds on the games. I don't know.
The odds will be out.
Oh, they are?
Well, maybe.
They'd probably change when the team come out.
Yeah.
They'll be out somewhere. I'll check.
They're never too blown out rugby league until like halfway through the season and you see the Dragons are like the bottom of the table and you go, well, wow, okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah. 2 secs.
That's all right.
Storm. Oh, it's actually pretty close. Storm $1.85, Souths $1.95.
Yeah, because South's team's fucking good. Like they absolutely pumped the Dragons, as we said in the old Charity Shield, which means nothing except that the Dragons are shit, with the greatest respect. But so it'd be weird if they were any longer than that. I assume, but that record is good for Storm game 1, and South obviously suck ass in Melbourne. So there's that, Eddie. Excited for all that. Manly playing Roosters first round.
Manly Roosters, Saturday night, SCG, be there or be square.
Be square. I'm actually going to be square, unfortunately, because I'm going to be squarely at a wedding and watching on my phone under a table.
Where's the wedding?
The Hunter Valley.
Oh, I'm also in the Hunter this weekend.
Are you, Dave? Where you eating a bunch of mushies under the stars?
Unfortunately not. I'm there with all my family, so probably none of that will be happening.
Yeah, no, that's tough.
Yeah.
You may have mushrooms on toast.
Yeah, you might have to
Yeah.
just sneak out at night for a late night vegan cig and some mushies under the stars. Find yourself caught up in a vine.
Getting lost in a paddock full of cows.
Lost in a paddock full of cows.
But look, besides, the Storm, Storm.
Can you just go through the games, Dave? Just
Yeah.
I want to hear who the matchups are.
All right, so Storm Souths Thursday night. Knights Bulldogs is the first game on Friday.
6
Boring.
o'clock? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a 6 o'clock
6
game if
o'clock
ever I heard it.
yeah. Broncos Eels is the 8 o'clock game.
I'd be interested. That's interesting because the Eels obviously, you know, and their billion-year struggle to get a premiership before the sun dies, and then the Broncos trying to come back from one of the worst years in sporting history for any club, any organisation.
Have you heard many whispers out of Camp Bronc?
Well, the whispers I think out of Camp Bronc have been a little bit like Brodie Croft or Tom Dearden. Who are they using at the halves?
Oh, I know. Look, if that's the narrative coming out of there,
out of
out of Camp Bronc, you know things are pretty fucking dire.
Yeah.
Like apparently Brodie Croft's back on, you know, the selection table and he's favoured to be the opening round half. But, and no disrespect to Brodie,
With the greatest respect.
you know, great respect for the work that he's done over the years.
Yeah.
But Brodie Croft doesn't exactly, you know, he's not an aphrodisiac for me.
Certainly not. No. There's no aphrodisiac like Brodie Croft because he doesn't get you hard at all. Because it actually doesn't exist. But best of luck to him, though. That's the thing. You want everyone to do well, but you got to call it how you see it. And as we're saying, he just doesn't have the aphrodisiac principles of a kamikaze Dr. V drink. You know what I mean?
No.
He's no oyster.
He's no oyster.
There's no lead getting in my pencil, at least based off what we've seen from Brodie in Camp Bronc.
Look, and again, I'm not here to bash the Broncos, but I mean, you know, you got to call it how you see it.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that Kevy can't coach.
With the greatest respect.
To Kevy, who's a champion player.
Yeah, and you know.
And apparently a champion bloke.
Champion human.
I'm just telling you what I've heard.
Yeah, these aren't our opinions here. We regurgitate other people's thoughts and often pass them off as our own to give some sort of air of authority, but not these ones. When they're bad, we will usually blame it on someone else. We won't own the bad ones.
Yeah.
Kevy can't coach, apparently.
Now, coming into a shit show like the Broncos, who've, you know, got no troops of note.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what?
they've got the toe sucker.
Katoni, yes.
He's injured till mid-season anyway.
Well,
so-
see,
That's
well,
tough.
there
That's
you go.
tough.
There you go.
Yeah, no toes will be sucked this weekend. But they've got some players. They've got like some, you know, is Payne Haas suspended?
He's also suspended first 3 weeks.
Fafita's gone.
Fafita's gone.
They got
Matt-
Pangai Jr.,
Pangai
but he'll
Jr.
also spend half the year suspended anyway.
Is he still suspended?
No, I don't think he's still suspended.
he will.
No, I know,
it's
but I
only a
thought,
matter
was
of
he
time.
suspended still from his bikey haircut thing, you know? His
That was some time ago.
his Mongols links. Yeah, I know, but I wasn't sure how long he was suspended for and whether it rolled over to this year. Patrick Carrigan, sure, like he's good looking.
Who are they going to have at 9?
Jake Turpin.
He's good. Jake Turpin's a little goer.
Yeah. Oh, man, he is a goer.
He's a goer, you know. And he's
Yeah.
got a goer's haircut as well. Like, you know, it's a shit chop, but it's like he's got a goer's haircut. You know, he would have been like a small, annoying little kid who just never stopped. And then he's just channeled that fucking attention to football. Now he's a, you know, fantastic little player
That could.
that could. What's MILF doing now? MILF, if MILF doesn't rip and tear and throb this year, then that's you know, is that panic stations for MILF?
I think, well, I wouldn't be surprised if he was waved onto a 747 and sent to the far
Warriors.
north.
Oh, to win a Man of Steel or two.
I think that's probably where you're at.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you don't, like, you may as well. You're probably not going to get. You probably get more money to go win a couple of Man of Steels.
Well, like, there's no shame in winning a Man of Steel. You come back and say, I won a Man of Steel.
Yeah, correct.
I lived in the far north in, you know,
In
frigid
freezing-
conditions
freezing
and
cold.
became a Man of Steel.
Yeah, Jamie Lyon won a couple of Man of Steels, but he was actually the greatest centre in the world, no matter where he was. You know what I mean? Like, so obviously he was going to win the Man of Steel there, but he came back and then obviously won a couple of comps with Manly, capping them and shit. So different. But the Broncos probably going to lose to the Eels, but I could see the Eels losing as well. You know.
I can see the Eels losing. I can see the Eels scrapping for a top 8 this year.
Every time they always talk about the Eels, especially the last couple of years, it's like they're top 4, they're fucking this,
They're
they're
not
that.
top 4 this year.
Even if they are top 4, there's no way. Like, there are certain things I will stake, like, you know, life on, basically. The Eels will not win the comp this year. Any Eels fan that's even slightly excited, I know this is harsh, and it's, you know, it's before the season's even kicked off, this is probably a tough thing to hear. But just mark my words and mark them down in pen. You will not win the comp this year. No, not even. They're going to get your hopes up a couple of times. You might even linger around the top of the ladder for a few rounds. You won't win the comp.
For me, the top 4 seems pretty set.
What? Storm, Rabbits, Roosters, Manly.
Yeah. Or Panthers. Look, it all depends. Look, our fortunes rest solely and squarely on what that boy at the back.
Well, who knows? Listen, obviously, we probably need to have Tommy back throbbing to win the comp. Maybe you could make that argument. Maybe you could.
I think you'd make that.
But I'd be interested to see how we go now. We bring Foran back in. Obviously, he's been injury prone, but that was when he didn't have the maroon and white.
No, that's right. It's when he wasn't draped in maroon. It's when he wasn't draped in maroon.
So, he could, if he's healthy, because when he was healthy at the Dogs last year, he was playing good footy. And
He didn't miss that many games last year either.
just couldn't string him together. Just couldn't string enough together, our boy Foz. But I'll be interested to see how that changes. Like, we've got we've brought another brick into the wall.
Yes.
As opposed to, just using cement here and there where we could. Now we got a brick in Kieran Foran, next to a brick in Daly Cherry Evans. Couple of bricks in Jake and Tom Trebojevic. Is Dylan Walker a brick? I don't think he is, but he's been a brick in the past.
Look, he's been a brick. He's remnants of a brick.
He's remnants of a brick, and maybe if he's now freed up to be a brick, because Foran's there.
He needs the confidence from other bricks to become a brick once more.
To return to what was. He forgot how to be a brick.
That's right. And that happens.
Of course it does.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, you can
happens to the best of us.
You can go from brick to cement to brick.
Yeah. But it's all about
Many times in a
application.
career.
It's all about, attitude.
Yep. So,
What else we got, Dave?
Saturday, first game, 3 p.m. at Central Coast Stadium, Warriors-Titans.
That's a real 3 p.m.er. But Titans are... I think Titans will potentially make these 6 p.m. Friday, 3 p.m. Saturday games a little bit exciting. 2 p.m. Sunday. They're probably going to have the rails run of all the shittest games of the rounds, but because they're a pretty good side this year, we think that could actually make some of those games kind of enjoyable.
I'll be watching them. I think we all will be.
Yeah.
Now, would it surprise me that they, started like a busted ass? No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't. And take a little time to click.
Yeah. But I think they will click in the fullness of time.
Yeah. So that's Titans Warriors. Mm-hmm. And the Warriors go on the big lift again. They're here in Australia for till June.
They'll be here like all year. Yeah. You would think.
Yeah, unless
the travel bubble could happen.
Yeah,
we're 40,
what
50 days.
On.
We're 40 days in New South Wales, 49 days without a transmission. Now, that's not the entire country, Eddie, but, I mean...
Did New Zealand have a hiccup the other day, though?
Yeah, that's why they had to kind of push back the travel bubble plans, and even for the Warriors, because of the recent cases in New Zealand.
Now, the Warriors they've done their pre-season in Tankwater country.
I don't know if they were. Were they back out in the Worth?
I think they were.
I thought they were in the Central Coast.
Yeah, I think they might have been Sunny Coast as
Didn't
well.
they land it? I thought they had a bubble out at Tamworth.
No, that was last year, which obviously we know. That's where the famous Tamworth Tank World.
Get that up, Dior. Why did I? Maybe I dreamt that.
You could have.
It might have been my turn to dream.
It's either true or it's a dream. That's how these things go. But yeah, they are the Warriors. Obviously, just having to go a big lift, and you're just like, fuck. It'd just be tough for them. Like they're just they've got this extra added layer of shit to deal with, no matter what they're doing. Yeah, they're never going to win it.
It makes it impossible, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, but maybe they, reared off 2 back-to-back seasons on Tankwater. Who knows? Maybe it changes. Maybe they get better. Maybe they lift.
Oh, they did spend a month in Tamworth in January this year.
IV drip straight to the veins, mate. Told ya.
Yeah.
It turns out Tom and I dream nothing.
No.
And that we trade in fact.
Yeah. All we do is consolidate the facts we've consumed over the day as we sleep.
Yes.
And we wake up and we give them to people.
Yeah. We wake up and they've been filed.
They've been filed.
In an orderly position.
Dewey Decimal System.
That's
employed.
right. Dewey Decimal, of course. That's how I file all my thoughts. Dewey Des. Shout out to Dewey.
Good friend of the show, Dewey.
Friend of the show, Dewey. Dewey's a fucking wild cunt, I'll tell you what.
But he's organised.
He's organised. Yeah, he's organised.
He's organised.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were at Tamworth. We knew it. What other games we got?
So then it's Roosters, Seagulls, and then
Game of the round.
Victory for Manly.
Then Saturday night, Panthers, Cowboys.
See, you know what? I feel sorry for the Panthers because they got to play the Cowboys and they're just going to beat the shit out of them, I reckon. That's the 7:30 game?
Yeah.
Why the fuck wouldn't you put Manly Roosters on?
I liked that we're in the Arvo.
No, but I'm just thinking like the way I'm thinking as a what am I, like a program at TV? Because these are all like the rounds are dictated by the TV stations, I believe.
Maybe Fox don't give a shit. Like, we've got all the Saturday games to just sit down and enjoy them at your own pleasure.
That's true. Maybe your own behest. Okay, so Manly Roosters. I wonder if Suwali plays.
No.
You don't reckon?
No.
I think he should. Everyone's like, "Fuck, should we let him play?"
I
It's
don't
like-
think he's been cleared yet.
No, maybe he hasn't. But what I'm saying is like, I just think the whole conversation.
Did you see him carve up in the for the Bears?
I saw he scored 2 tries. I didn't
Yeah.
watch it, but
Snap some cut in half, like
did he?
real
Right,
handful
so
stuff.
Okay, so he's like he's throbbing.
Yeah.
The difference of like a few months. I get it if he was 16, you go and the rule's 18, or if he's just turned 17 and it's like he's turning 18 this year. Like just it should be if you turn 18 this year, you can do it.
Well,
If
he's
you're ready-
playing in technically under 18s, right? Because he's 18 this year. Do you know what I mean? Like when you do the school age groups?
Yeah, exactly. He's able to play in the under 18s from a youth standpoint, so he's essentially 18.
He's playing against 18-year-olds.
That's what. But I'm just saying, if you have to be 18 to play NRL and you're turning 18 in a matter of months, then just let him fucking play.
I think you can make exemptions for out-and-out throbbers.
That's what I mean. The guy
If you try to drag some, bush league bloody,
some big fat nut trucker,
D-lister,
some
who-
D-list nut trucker,
who trades in the trucking of nut.
yeah.
Maybe you say to yourself,
This
is
guy-
this worth it?
This guy's the greatest nut truck we've ever seen. And you're like, listen, sorry, this guy needs to be box office. He needs to be scoring tries, snapping cunts.
Yeah.
But what I did think was funny / interesting was seeing during the week Rusty Crowe of Gladiator fame, of South's ownership fame, of A Beautiful Mind fame, of fucking Romper Stomper fame. Bit heavier, that one. Yes. He was basically like asked, I think by Andrew Webster, like Andrew Webster as a journo, he writes fact and opinion very well as opposed to it being sort of like
Woo-woo.
woo-woo and buzzword bingo of like fucking who's bloody PC, PC police, the game's gone soft, all that bullshit. So he spoke to Rusty. Rusty was like basically just like lamenting the fact that Suwali went to the Roosters for what he said was the exact same amount of money. He's like, so I don't know what else they were offering him. And then like again within this sort of piece, then it's talking about like salary caps and shit. And he's like, well, we got a salary cap to think about. Some clubs don't.
Yeah.
Very spicy from Rusty. Very spicy from Rusty.
But you love to see it.
But he likes Suwali. He's like, Suwali's a good kid. Good kid, Mad City, just fucking getting pulled in every which way. And then, tries to woo him up at Nana Glen, where all the great rugby league wooings have taken place.
What, he flew him up there?
Him and mum and fucking the sister, I think, up to Nana Glen. Just a weekend away.
Yeah.
Apparently not even to talk turkey, just to bloody,
Break bread, just to break bread.
Break bread. Let's have a nice weekend. Look, I got some pigs and horses and shit. It's like a little bloody animal farm up here.
Yep.
You want to go feed the horses? Let's go do it.
There might also be some gold bullion under your pillow.
just look over there in that chicken coop. We'll go get the eggs. If you see some gold there, though, like, whatever. I don't want
Yeah.
to know about it.
Yeah. Not my gold.
No, it's not my gold.
You must have left it there.
Dude, if the chicken lays a gold egg in the shape of a brick,
Say for bullion.
a bullion, it's yours. Take it. It's yours. But obviously, I don't want to know about it. Anyway, enjoy the beautiful, home-cooked country meal that I've also prepared for you. Now, if you happen to find a gold brick inside this chicken, if the stuffing happens to be gold leaf, it's yours. If you find some diamonds in your mashed potato, listen, that's got nothing to do with us. That must just be the way they
Don't
grow
swallow
up
them.
here. No, don't swallow them.
Yeah.
Or actually, you know what? Swallow them, and then just make sure
That you pass them.
that you pass
on the floor.
them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When you get home,
So that's how it may have gone down.
that's how it may have gone down.
now,
listen, did Suwali
if that's
just
how it
take-
went, if that's how it went down, and
And then he
Swali's
still
just
left.
robbed him,
That's one of the great swindlings of
that's
all time.
we might have a young swindler on our hands.
Which it means he probably does fit in the Roosters a bit better. They seem a bit more of the swindling type. With
That's
the greatest
right.
respect.
That's right. Look, I mean, you can sort of argue this till the cows come home,
Yep.
literally or figuratively.
Correct. Well, if you're at Nana Glen, they will come home at some point. Rusty will tell you that.
If you live in the city, it's probably more figuratively.
You
But-
were correct. The cows aren't coming home in the city. Unless you live on the outskirts, maybe.
So congratulations to Suwali, and
no,
we
he
wish him
got
all the
his-
best.
You got the bag, bro.
You got that bag, bruh.
And then what are the final?
But to answer your question, no, I don't think he will play this weekend.
No, right. Yeah, he hasn't been cleared.
He's still working to pass the diamonds. to
Yeah,
the system,
exactly.
yeah.
You know, it actually wouldn't be safe to play with that much diamond inside the
The bow.
the tract. And then Panthers cows. You know, look, I feel sorry for cows fans. I just don't think much is happening up there at the moment in the way of like
New coach. Look at a new coach.
Yeah, Todd Payton's up there.
Congrats to Todd.
Congrats to Todd. Congrats to the cows. Really
How do you think the
sorry.
Panthers will go this year?
I think they could win it. Did you see Nathan Cleary at the launch?
Yeah.
They were doing the crossbar kick?
And he hit it twice, like it bounced.
Yeah.
Landed on it and then bounced
Yeah,
again.
but it was the first kick he had.
Of course it was.
That was pretty alpha. I saw that. I was like, oh, see that. If I'm an omen better, which I am almost exclusively, that's a good omen for me. Not just for the Panthers, but maybe for Cleary, Dally M. Maybe it's got something to do with Cleary. I don't know what sort of markets you can get here, but Cleary's like
You can't bet on the Dally M anymore.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Thanks to some dickhead who was part of the counting and,
Yeah.
decided to put like $100,000 on to
That's
Bellamy
right.
to win Coach of the Year, which didn't, arouse any suspicion whatsoever.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, the Dally M's a bit of a they're all like the results are legit, but it's a bit of
Apparently they want to change the counting to like
10 points.
Yeah,
10
10,
points.
yeah.
10 seems to like that's
The reason I think they wanted to do that was because if you're in a team with shitloads of throbbers, if everyone's just rated out of 10, then you don't lose 3-2-1s to a player who's better. It's about just how you are playing.
Look, I understand that, but lot of room for
Well, to be honest, now that I say it, it still doesn't make sense though, right? Because like if you're Tedesco and I am just a lowly nut trucker.
but you're always going to be compared against.
That's what I mean. If you're Tedesco, you're playing a 9 out of 10 game, and I'm a lowly nut trucker. I am playing at my absolute ceiling.
No one's going to give you, even if you've had a 10 out of 10 nut trucking performance, but Tedesco scored 5 tries. You reckon you're still getting 10, bro?
No way.
Just for chucking a bit of seed?
No.
I don't think so.
So
and you
it's-
know it. We know it.
Yeah, we all know.
Australia knows it.
Australia knows.
And I just don't trust, no offense to the judges, them giving every player a 10. I think you just get a bit lazy, don't you? Oh,
Yeah.
7, 6, 7. He's
There'd
got
be a lot
media
of sevens
commitments.
and
He wants to get
sixes.
home for a couple of beers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He might have
Yeah.
just had an aphrodisiac and he needs to get on
And he
his
needs to go
way.
and get back.
And I just think you just sit down and you go, fuck, who was off the bench? Oh, 3. Oh, did I even see you? 2. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, that could be completely wrong. They might put a lot of thought into it. But over
With
how many
great respect,
games there are?
26 rounds.
26 rounds, 8 games around. I don't fucking believe it.
No.
Especially not out of 10.
Did you watch the game? Well, I watched the highlights.
Did you watch every player?
Yeah. How
Did
do
you
do
watch
that?
You can't. You can't play a game every player. You'd have to have someone play camming an individual player.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
As far as I'm aware, only one set of eyes. Individually, you can't watch 2 different things with 2 eyes. You know what I mean? Like they have to follow the same.
You can if you
Well, if you had what you had.
if you had what I had.
What was that called again?
Turnius Ius.
Malachi. Who was a Fijian guy I knew once called Malachi, and he had an eye like you, and we found it funny because it was like his name's Malachi. Anyway, that's by the by. Shout out to Malachi. Hope you're going well, brah, over there in Fiji. Now we got 2 games left in the round. Dio Dave, please take us through those.
Sunday Arvo.
Sounds like a DMC-a-thon. I haven't heard a DMC mentioned.
Yeah, it will be Sunday Arvo at 4, Raiders Tigers.
All right. Yeah. Well, the Raiders will. You'd think. Tigers. You just feel sorry for them. Luke Brooks never played finals. Moses Mbai's your first choice fullback.
Harry Grant no longer there.
Harry Grant's bounced quicker than yet. So everyone's like, Harry, will he stay? Harry's like, motherfucker, do you think I'm going to stay here? You are off your fucking nooner. I'm going back to the Premiers. With greatest respect to the Tigers, obviously. And then James Roberts is good. BJ Leilua, when he's not like chinning people for minor indiscretions, can be good. I hope for the Tigers' sake they go well.
Yeah, they got Tamo now. He's the new captain.
Tarmow. I like Tarmow. I'll be interested to see how he goes in a team that isn't packed with young studs like the Panthers were. Anyway, fuck the Tigers. Raiders will win that, you would assume. And what's the other game?
Dragons, Sharks.
Local derby.
Look, you think the Sharks put 50 on them, don't you?
I think it'd be a 50-pluser so that the Dragons know immediately because no team's conceded 50 on the comp. So just get it out of the way round one.
Get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way round one. Raiders 50 on the Tigers. Sharks 50 on the Dragons. And then those fan bases can just put the feet up, pick another team to follow this year and just sort of like...
Yep.
Take your
membership
couple
back.
of lines, Brett. I don't know if they've done yoga before, but a couple of real big, through the nose, out the mouth, lines, breaths, and just go, it's all done. Put a cue in the rack.
Put the cue in the rack, take your membership back, get a refund, put the feet up.
Put the feet up and start following a team that, isn't merged with the greatest respect, obviously, to both those clubs. Is there anything else in rugby league, Eddie, that you think we may have missed?
Look, there's been a lot of call in the Punters and Dribblers Facebook group, which just goes from strength to strength to strength.
Yeah.
To strength.
Every goddamn day.
For an NRL tipping comp. Now,
yeah.
a lot of you think that we have been lazy, that we've forgotten, that we were talking porcupine lies. Look, Dave has been...
The season hasn't kicked off.
Yeah. Dave has been at the computer looking for the best options. He is close to pulling it all together. These things take time, weeks if not months. It's an arduous job. But I believe and I trust in Dave, and I know that he's going to pull this together before Thursday kickoff. He'll have it done, Punters and Dribblers, by Tuesday evening.
That's what I'd say. And if not Tuesday evening, then probably, like 7:59 Thursday, mere seconds before the fucking season kicks off. He will have it there ready to go. So don't worry. Even if you have a good 3 minutes to make your tips, you will get them in.
You will get them in. That will be posted in the Punters and Dribblers group. If you're not in the group, you won't see it.
And listen, some people, we've had a few people reaching out to us, well, not reaching out, but in the last couple of weeks, obviously the P's and D's page is a hot spot for bots who just want to come and try and pillage our beautiful audience. And that is you, the punter and the dribbler. Some people haven't been on Facebook for fucking years, maybe even ever. And they're like, listen, I know that it's, they're sending us DMs like, I know it looks like I'm a bot because I have no friends and my account's been open for like an hour.
Yeah.
But I just want to get in there. Let me in. Let me at the P's and D's. And it's like, oh, yeah, sweet. All right. And then we unclip the velvet rope. We let them in. And they're now part of the club. So if you're not in there, you won't be part of anything. With the greatest respect. But that is rugby league. Oh, we also do a super coach.
Yeah, we got Danny Exotic's video.
Yeah, what a perfect way to fucking...
And
So Danny Exotic, obviously we all know him very well. He's one of the great contributors here at the Hello Sport podcast. And Danny's videos became a thing they were famed last year. And he's done another one for the launch of the NRL. So I think that we should all just sit back. Now listen, obviously you're just going to be listening to the audio Punters Dribblers. There is a video on the Punters and Dribblers page. As we said, if you're not in there, then you're not part of anything. So, yep, we're ready to rip.
well, you won't be able to watch it if
No,
you're
you
not
won't
in
be
there.
able to watch it. Has he edited this to this song?
Rugby league. Your game, my game, our game. But above all that, it's God's game. That's right. He even sent his own grandson into the ranks last year. The one, the only, St. Peter V'landys. He moves, he shakes, he innovates. 2020, coronavirus in the form of a spanner is lodged in the rugby league gears. St. Peter, just like King Arthur, extracted that spanner from the works, and used it to tighten the nuts and bolts on the greatest game of all. Now there's a new year, and with a new year comes new blood. Old mates become foes, and others, well, they're just happy to be back. 14 proud clubs. Oh, and 2 dirty mergers. Battle it out for glory. $25 rounds to get it right. Some will thrive, like Dior at Korean barbecue. Others, well, they'll struggle, like Hillso at Rose Hill Gardens. But one thing is for sure, the hits will be bigger, the footwork, it'll be fancier, and the fans, they'll be rowdier. From Rosé and Xanax in the east to Racket Red in the west, lacrosse and laneways in the south to rooting your own sister in the north. But amongst all that, the punters and dribblers come together for one thing. Round 1, we kick things off in Melbourne as the Storm tackle those bunnies. Munster v Walker, Pappy vs Trell, Bellyache vs Wayne. Then Friday, the men from the Hunter host the boys from Belmore. Lock up your missos, Novocastrians. There's a new sheriff in town. Then we head north to Spoon Court as the Broncos host the Eagles, as the sun etches just that little bit closer towards planet Earth. Then to your Super Saturday, the Warriors bring a pulse back to Gosford as they battle the new look Titans outfit. Hang on, we want more, so let's head to Moore Park, the SCG, as Manly hope for a happy ferry ride back to the wharf after poleaxing the Roosters. And 7:30, we head out west to the foot of the mountain and the spiritual home of Rack and Red, as the Mountain Men kickstart their redemption story against the broke-back Cowboys. And finally, your DMC Sunday, as the Raiders take on the Tig Pies, followed by the Drag Queens versus the Peptides. So there we have it, P's and D's. Your 2021 season is finally here. So strap in for all the twists, for all the turns, for all the skin. It's what brings us all together. It's what brings us back to you. Rugby League, the greatest game of all.
Fuck.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Holy shit, dude.
He's getting better.
He is getting better. That was the best he's done.
Danny's leveling up.
We used to try and post these on our Instagram, but unfortunately, because there's a lot of song in there and like there's fucking images from Fox and Nine, a lot of the time it gets taken down. But I think we're sweet to have it in the P's and D's, which is good. And that was fucking hilarious. Very funny.
That was hilarious. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, really enjoyed that. But that's rugby league. If that didn't get you up and about,
Nothing will.
except the game itself. All right, so look, UFC on the it was yesterday. It was the card from a visual perspective pre the event was sick. Dominic Cruz on the undercard, for fuck's sake. But the fights were okay. It wasn't fucking fantastic. The bantamweight title fight, Petr Yan, Aljamain Sterling, was a disqualification. First time a title has been awarded to the other person based on disqualification. Petr Yan
For an illegal knee?
kneed fucking Sterling in the dome while he was grounded. And then he was just he wasn't out, but he was like just sort of rolling around you see these people going like, fuck, he bitched out. You're like, firstly, why would you get all the way through a camp and then get into a fight like that? Like, you're already in the fight, right? Like, what, are you bitching out in that moment? Is that what you're doing? You're looking for a way out? Like, just these, you see these people, you're just like, the level of shit talk.
Yeah, but people are fucking saying.
I know. Sterling was looking for a way out. It's like, cunt, he like.
How do you know?
What the fuck? He just got kneed in. It was flush as well. He got kneed in the fucking head. Anyway, so he was like pretty concussed by it, and so they were like, "Well, it's not really for him to try and keep fighting. Like, what? He's just going to get fucking KO'd next. Like, if he keeps going." Fight was pretty good though up until that point. He got awarded the belt on a disqualification. Very bizarre to see, but he just like left the belt in the cage. He was like, "I don't want it." So they'll probably do a rematch for the old title. Then our Aussie's own poor old Megan Anderson went up against the fucking GOAT, Amanda Nunes, and just got fucking ganked in 40 seconds.
It was painful to watch.
Yeah.
I've seen the replay, and that was so much better.
No, I'll tell you what, it'll fit inside a minute Instagram fucking
She
video.
got absolutely belted to within an inch of her life, and then made the tap before her arm broke.
Yes.
But you just say, like, is Nunes that much better than everyone, or is the depth just pretty bit thin?
Well, I think it's a bit of both, right? Like, they're still all... she's still that much better than everyone, because, like, they're all still operating off the same fucking, women's MMA around for the same amount of time, all this, that. Like, Nunes has got the same access as anyone else does to training and this. She's just a fucking beast. She's beaten everyone at 145. Cyborg, former champion, then down at bantamweight, Rousey, Holly Holm, Misha Tate, all these former champions. Valentina Shevchenko, who's in like the 125 division, and she's an assassin. She's beaten her as well. She's just fucking untouchable. It's actually cool to see. But poor old Megan Anderson of Australia's own fame, she didn't even land a thing. Didn't land a punch, didn't land a thing. And it was just like, you saw like when the first punch landed from Amanda, you're like, oh fuck, she's just been buzzed. She's like, what the fuck is going on here? Then she landed a couple more, started doing the chicken dance, her legs started getting all fucking, And then it was almost like she submitted her out of like goodwill. It was like, listen, I could pound you out here.
Yeah, I could.
I could pound you out, but I
could
think
turn the lights off, but I won't.
I won't. I'll save your brain, which is nice. But I'm just going to
That was classy.
It was classy. I'll just get you to tap. You better tap, though. Others are going to snap your arm. So you got to be smart
exactly
about
right. That's exactly right.
it. So that was, as dominant as I think most people probably expected, with the greatest respect to Megan Anderson. And then Adesanya Jan Blachowicz for the light heavyweight world title. Adesanya going up trying to become a champ. Didn't happen.
Dreamt of being a champ.
Dreamt of being a champ. You can't knock the man for having a crack. The fight itself
Had a crack.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it done.
It was a technical fight. It wasn't that good of a fight. I'm sure if you're like an MMA purist, you're probably like, oh, this is sick. Like technical fucking... But it was like there wasn't really any humongous hits and everything. So it was a it was a relatively even fight as well. But Adesanya just goes back down to like it's fucked a lot of the plans that I think a lot of the throbbers had. Well, like, so that Adesanya had and everyone was excited for, which is like he wins the title.
He wanted to fight John Jones.
Yeah. It's just like no. You go back to fucking middleweight, bruh. Go and fight Bobby Knuckles after he gets rid of Costa.
What's that weight jump?
From middle to, it's like 20 pounds. It's actually probably, I think it's one of the more significant ones. It's like 155 and so like lightweight and welterweight's big. So that's 155 to 170.
That's
and
15.
Then middleweight's 185 to 205.
That's big.
Yeah. And he only got up to 200. So he was, and Jan's cutting. Jan's a fucking animal. Jan's coming down from 220.
Yeah, no, they looked like
up.
a big weight disparity.
Yeah. So it was like on the feet it was okay, but as soon as Jan got him to the ground, it was like, this guy's just going to smother you. But again, he didn't get like dominated by any means. Like someone's stocks can go down if they go and have a crack, like a mad fight, and they get fucking...
And they get absolutely pounded into there.
You're
yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Wasn't that good.
But you go back and fight Bobby Knuckles again.
Yeah. Give Bobby another shot.
Give Bobby another shot,
because I love Stylebender, but Bobby's your man, right?
Bobby's Australian.
Bobby's an Australian.
Bobby fights out of Australia. He's got the Southern Cross on the chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Loves the nation. He's a good man. He's down to earth.
Has a goatee.
He has a goatee. He rips and tears. He's strong as an ox. And he deserves a chance at redemption, Tom. Simple as that.
Got to get through Costa, and then who I used to like Costa before he fought Izzy, and then he's just become the biggest poon dog, making excuses, being weird. Anyway, all those fights aside, Eddie, would you say the most exciting fight on the sort of Biff's horizon?
Well, there's only one that I'm really interested in.
Yeah, and that'd have to be
Big Daddy Brown,
Big Daddy
Lucas
Brown.
Big Daddy Brown, and
Paul Gallen.
That's right.
That's Big Daddy Brown, self-appointed greatest Australian heavyweight of all time.
Self-appointed.
Well, he said it about himself. So yes, I am not here to disagree with Big Daddy Brown or to agree with Big Daddy Brown. Just here to report the facts as I hear them. He thinks he's the greatest heavyweight in Australian history. And Gallen looking to smoke the greatest heavyweight in Australian history.
How do you see it going?
I have no idea. Gal, I mean, like, you know, he's been doing enough boxing to be like, you know, proficient at what he's doing, but like Big Daddy Brown's been boxing for a lot longer. It's just another notch on the
Did Big Daddy Brown, did he win a world title?
He did, but then he got
Overseas
stripped.
or something?
Yeah.
He got stripped for
Yeah.
doping, and there was questions asked about the legitimacy of the test and all that shit.
All that shit because he beat the champion in his hometown, and it was like one of those really fucking
Yeah, on
like,
the border of Russia somewhere.
correct. And it was a bit sort of like, you know,
How's your father?
would they be putting some shit in his drink to make him cheat potentially, or did he just use
Cheat.
clenbuterol, which is like a stripping agent or weight loss agent? Wouldn't mind someone if anyone knows where to get it. So I don't know, dude. But there, he's a. But then what's funny was like Gal was talking about Gal was like bringing up performance enhancing drugs and shit. I was like, that's a weird thing for you to do when you've been a part of like almost the biggest systematic doping scandal in rugby league history.
Well, man, he maintains he had nothing to do with it.
Completely. I get that. I'm not saying he had anything to do with it, apart from the fact that he was involved in it. But, like, you of all people should know that you can't bring that up. You've been in that area.
You don't have enough cred.
You don't have enough cred. You can't be swept up in an asada drug scandal and start having a crack at fucking Big Daddy Brown, BDB, for clenbuterol, allegedly.
Yeah. Just stay in your lane.
Yeah.
But he's getting some big fights, Gallen.
Well,
For someone that...
because he's the money fight.
But think about that.
That's
Gallen is the money fight in Australian boxing.
Yeah, he is. I'd love to see him fight Justice Honey one time for the fucking...
I'd like to see him fight Sonny Bill,
Well, yeah, I know.
who's now back full time.
Bros, he looks so good, Sonny. I saw a photo. I think he put up a photo on his gram of him just standing in the gym, and you're like, fuck, that is a specimen.
Yeah.
I know I said Vunivalu is probably the person I would like say is the best physique of any human on the planet, but it might actually be Sonny Bill.
Yeah. Sonny Bill's cut from,
The broadness of Sonny's shoulders in
God's
direct
granite.
relation to like the narrowness of his hips is...
He comes in, doesn't he?
He comes in. He's like
But he comes in from such a width.
it's like a triangle.
Yeah. And it cuts in perfectly.
Cut straight in perfectly and then back out for the
Yeah.
fucking quads from hell.
Yeah, back out. In and out.
In and out. Hourglass-ish, but
Sort of.
not really.
But not certainly not like a Kimi Kardashian.
No. That's not what you want from your rugby league thrower. That's a weird body shape.
Well, certainly you're not going to move that well.
No.
And I don't think you'd be able to box that well. if you went
Athletically, I
full
don't think it would
hourglass.
help. Yeah, no, you wouldn't want a full hourglass. That doesn't seem like the ideal body shape.
You're sort of going out, in to a degree.
To a degree. A little bit like that. But yeah, I don't know if I've got any more to add on that situation. We haven't even got to the dribbles yet, and I'm starting to fade.
I think we know. I think now we need to dribble.
Yeah,
Just
because
to-
we
have to.
We've done all we can.
We have to.
From just a general sporting dribble perspective.
Let's dribble.
We turn it over to you guys now.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I was going to vomit there. Let's do it. Oh, should we just a quick before we get into the dribbles, Eddie? A quick shout out to our good friend Ilso.
Yeah.
The Novocastrian, or whatever the fuck he is, the turncoat, finally getting his first successful tip off the ground, Sovereign Award. I was on it. I don't know about who else was,
I wasn't.
but it led from the jump the whole way, and it fucking ran out. It was like it went way too hard, and we were all watching it going, this thing's going to shit itself. It's going to get run down. We were not excited at all, basically, for what it was doing in the race. I was a little bit, I'll be honest, but everyone I was with who were like punters, no way this thing's winning. It's just going to get fucking run down the whole way. Smoked it. Now, everyone's saying give him his ends back. They're gone, bro. Those ends are gone.
He might get one back. He's not getting them all back.
He is, for mine, Ilso for forever. Ilso the king, though, right? All hail King Ilso, king of the tips. But Ilso he is.
Dale has such a nice ring to it.
Dale Ilso sounds way better than whatever your name was before that. I don't even remember.
You're not even an overcasher anymore because you live in Zetland.
Yeah, and
you're
you're
also
a turncoat.
So you can be known as the turncoat or Dale Ilso.
Talk about a bloody, like, he, you know, well, did Ilso sort of come into our lives, did he come into our lives last year?
Don't know.
What a roller coaster 12 months it's been for Dale Ilso. Ilso, you know, he's been fucking up, down. His name's changed. He's been this, he's been that. Hasn't been able to tip a winner. Finally tips a winner. Now he's King Ilso.
For now,
king of the tips. Anyway, I think it's probably time to dribble.
Hey, Tom and Eddie. Share Dribbler here. Just after the dearth of quality sport punting information that's been coming through on the Punters and Dribblers page, I just wanted to see if you guys are interested in some stock tips on the old ASX. There's a lot of ways to make some money on that. Maybe not overnight, but sort of some long-term options. The one that I am most interested in right now is called TNT, cybersecurity firm. Obviously, I'm not a financial planner. If you lose money on that, that's your own stupid problem. But over the next 12 months, looking good for some big gains. They've recently increased their revenue by 500% year on year, and they made some big acquisitions and got some big contracts. So, look, not one to waste too much money on sport punting because it's a mug's game, as we're finding out. But you know, this is a way you might be able to get rich over 12 months instead of overnight. Anyway, beers soon. Hopefully, very expensive beers soon if you get on some decent shares. Cheers.
Look, I appreciate that. He's gone out of his way to ring in with what he thinks is going to make us all rich.
Yep.
I would say to that dribbler, if you want to slide into our DMs and provide some more clarity and, maybe some further analysis, that'd be appreciated.
Yeah.
And also, if you wanted to just deal tips to us directly, that'd be fine.
I think that's it. And also, listen, I'm not sure exactly around what it's like, you know, insider trading and all that sort of thing. But if you're a high up in a business and you know that something's going to happen soon, like a publicly traded company, like, you know, we won't say a word. Yeah. Obviously, DMs is where you'll find us.
You can trust us.
Don't
call the dribbler hotline.
No. That's a DM. Just, you know, maybe jump on this one.
Yeah. Look, if you want to do some, you know, some ITing for us,
yeah,
there might be a baggy green in it for you.
There could be a baggy green for you. Not making any promises though. Just also, I'm not sure if it's in the emails. I think it is, but Full Quid Kid Gil's piece is. I haven't heard it, but it's been in there, so it should be emailed. But if it's not,
it's emailed.
Yeah,
it's in
sweet.
there.
Thomas, Edward, Turncoat David, Punters and Dribblers. It's the dribbler of, I can't remember what my dribbler name is, fame.
You get that.
I'll share a little dribblers in the wild yarn with you. Played a great cricket game on the weekend. We were batting. There was a very, very, very annoying fielder at very close cover, just sledging all day. Just shit sledges, like I fucked your mum, I fucked your sister, just shit like that.
That's rank.
Pissed all us batters off too, because it wasn't even good sledges. Like, it wasn't rattling us or anything. Anyway, it got to the point where he was just saying shit as the bowler was running in, so our batters just stepped away, and it was annoying the field inside. Our batters were annoying the field inside because we just kept stepping away because this dickhead just kept talking. And it got to the point where the captain of the field inside decided to go and absolutely roast this little bastard that was standing at cover sledging us, to the point where this annoying fielder started crying. He's only young, maybe 16 or 18, and I think he might have been a six-pack short. So the poor bugger's in tears because he's just been absolutely roasted by his captain. Anyway, late in the game, we're getting absolutely flogged. They decide to throw the ball to this kid, and he bowls an over. Well, lo and behold, this 16-year-old who's a six-pack short fucking takes a wicket. I'm fucking filthy. I'm sitting in my little dugout shed because I've been bowled 8 overs earlier. I'm still sulking in the shed, and this cunt takes a wicket, and instead of celebrating with his team, he runs over to the edge of the field where our dugout shed thing is, where all us batters are sitting, proceeds to bow in front of us. Not just a little bow, like it's full on, like I'm the Prince of Wales, I'm going to bow in front of you. And us boys sitting in the dugout just start cacking ourselves. The fielding team just thought, what a dickhead. It was hilarious. Dribblers in the wild. That is my yarn. Biz soon.
Kid sounds like a little fuckwit, but he also had, he got under your skin pretty good, though, it sounds like it. And although you were cackling yourselves in the dugout, I think you were actually more, you were alphaed by a 16-year-old, and that would have, I get why that would have infuriated you. I would have been infuriated as well. But you've called the Dribbler hotline to talk about it, and so he's got you. He's bested you.
Where's the bow come from? I haven't heard that done that often.
No, I mean it's the flex of an asshole, right? It's like he's got a wicket. He's already been chirped by his captain. He's been in tears at one point. He's saying some fucking
He's
really
all over the place,
unsavory things to the batsman, and then he goes and runs to the dugout and bows. Like, this kid's a fuckwit. But that's probably what you need to make it.
Yeah,
you know,
you gotta have a bit of cunt in you.
Who was it? Was it telling us that they? Was it Edo's of Have a Go podcast, former grade cricketer podcast fame, who said that he played Warner when he was younger, and Warner just stood after getting out, stood on the fucking edge of the field, and just abused the opposition for he was 11.
Yeah, that's what it takes to make it to the tippy top.
Yeah. So this guy, you know what?
He's got all the hallmarks of a future test skipper.
Test skipper. That guy sounds fantastic. Really bright future.
Thanks for that, mate.
Thanks. Probably went on a little long if I had to.
Look, could that have been condensed?
Yeah.
Could that have been?
Love the Dribblers in the Wild contributions, but remember our 90-second rule.
Could have been halved. Could have been halved.
G'day, Mr. Tom, Mr. Eddie, Dior, Chuck here, part of the Texas Dribblers and COVID-19 survivor. Want to give a quick shout out to Lloyd of the Stars, Isaac the Catch Carey. I was just chatting with Sir Isaac and asked him how the new nickname, the Catch, was going. And he said, mate, to be honest, nothing new. Women have been calling me the Catch for years. So good to know he's handling that one all right. Just want to call in.
He's a ladies' man.
Just catching up on one of the podcasts from a week or two ago. And there was a little part in there where Dave told us about his dog getting high. Now, that was a little disturbing as I was listening to that, simply for the fact that, obviously Dave's dog ingested a massive human poo down in the park. But what's kind of troubling me is what happened after that. Just given the circumstances, and I'm sure the dog came home. Now, given it's a eastern suburbs dwelling, I'm sure that isn't an outside dog. So the dog would have come inside, jumped all over the furniture. I'm sure Dave maybe gave it a big kiss and a cuddle.
Ended there.
You got a double or not?
Unless this next one's him as well.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Chuck here. I think I got cut off by a phone call.
Yeah, you did.
Don't know where I got to in my summation of Dave's dog eating poo and him having poo particles on him. But I did want to give a recommendation for a bounced-out movie from TVD, and that is MacGruber, one of the all-time classics. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch.
I thought his dribble was going to be about
the dog and
the shit.
And
it's actually about a bounce-out movie called MacGruber.
MacGruber.
Which I've heard is funny. I haven't watched it. It's like a parody of MacGyver, which is a great recommendation. I appreciate that. But certainly almost accentuated by the fact that it dropped out, the call. But you were on the path to a comment about the dog and shit, Dave's dog, and then it became a MacGruber recommendation. That fucking threw me for six.
It was a sharp segue.
It was a sharp segue. I will
That's
say-
the sharpest we've ever had, I reckon.
Do you let your dog lick you on the face?
Like,
Yes, the answer is
Yeah.
yes. I don't even need to.
but
So
not intensely, you know.
there's every chance that thing has eaten a human poo. See, this is if I was this dribbler, this is what I would, if I could finish the dribble I think he should have had. And it could be a comment rather than a question, but Dave let his dog eat human shit and then lick his face.
Do you tongue each other?
Only if we're feeling really frisky.
Yeah, you definitely have. In a platonic, completely consensual,
In like a...
dog owner friendly relationship.
That's right.
But after a human poo, to have that happen, that's tough.
I mean, to clear that up, I was not present when the dog first ingested the poo, nor was I when the dog got home. I was still sleeping at that time,
Okay, of course you were.
Yeah.
Of course you were.
which is
Do
kind of
you
my
ever
excuse
get
for
up at
everything.
7:30 any other day of the week?
No. No. Why
When
would
do you
I?
usually get up?
Like 9, 10?
Fuck, that's good
10.
stuff, dude.
Well, it was 10, but since uni and stuff started now, I'm trying to pull it back, real early.
Time to
9.
get to bed.
Like, before 1.
I used to stay.
I used to go to bed at like 2.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Used to be up, fuck around, and then sleep.
Googling shit,
doing
looking shit
YouTube
up.
benders.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And then you just get up at 10. Fuck me, dude.
Now I'm like, ooh, it's 10:30.
That's ridiculous. I haven't been up. I haven't had a sleep in fucking years. Well, at least a year. Except I did on Sunday because I was fucking hungover, but I didn't go to bed till 5, so I don't know if that's a sleeping technically.
No, it's not. Well,
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Shout out to Gruber.
Yep.
Sounds like a great film. A great time to spend, great way to spend your Sundays.
Sundays. Let's go.
They better all not be like this.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, punters, dribblers, Scrapman here. I'm just walking home. It's Wednesday night, going past Leichhardt Oval, and they still have the score up from Sunday's trial match.
Oh, no.
I just feel sorry for them that a trial match is
Who does?
The
what
Tigers.
they've really
I told
held
you,
up
bro. The
for
standing
everyone,
ovations and all
and
the
I
shit.
fucked it.
They've still...
But that was their grand final. So with that, that makes sense.
Yeah, that could... I mean, that probably stays on the scoreboard till they play. Do they play... They don't play many games at Leichhardt anymore, so that could be up there for a while.
Mate, I wouldn't be surprised if they put it up and then take it down. Like they're owning this as like they won the preseason.
Yeah, yeah. Like the NAB... the AFL had like the NAB Cup
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
That's like the Tigers NAB Cup
Yeah.
grand final. Well, it's not even that. It's their
Mate,
grand final.
I reckon there would have been champagne in the sheds.
There'd be an extra... They would have had a trophy custom made for a cabinet.
Yeah.
That is relatively bare.
Yeah. Well, it's been added to the relatively bare cabinet.
Yeah. Anyway, let's...
Shout out to the Tigers.
Shout out to
You
the
couldn't get
Tigers.
more beta. You actually
No.
surprised me as how beta you get
Yeah.
year on year.
With the greatest respect.
Since 2005, the head has been... It's been a fucking train wreck.
Yeah. With the greatest respect.
G'day, Tom and Eddie. Turncoat Dave. It's Canberra Dribbler here. Got a bit of a brushes of lame. Lining up to get ice cream at Messina. A proud Melbourne or Sydney or whatever the fuck franchise it is that's come to Canberra. We get it like 10 years later. Anyway, seen two big, thick boys needing two big, thick cones. Rob Valentini and Alan Alatoa of Brumbies forward pack fame. Personally would have preferred to see some Raiders, but you get what you're given. Cheers, boys.
Beggars and choosers in the brushes with lame game.
That's a brushes with lame.
I was at a wedding with Alan Alatoa a couple of years ago. Nice fella. Just another brushes.
They're out there.
They're out there. He's a good man.
They happen every day.
Let's go. Let's get this thing moving.
Yeah, g'day punters and the dribblers. Thomas, Eddie, Dior. It's the brass band dribbler here. Look, I'm going a little bit off-brand, but went to a Lime Cordiale concert tonight and originally thought there was two guys in the band. Turns out there's a band behind the band, and one of them plays a shitload of guitar and a hell of a lot of trombone. Got me thinking, best on ground, who's your best clubman? of all time. Apologies if we've touched on this.
What
but
the fuck is going on?
Luke Ricketson come to mind.
What are these lead-ins?
I'm a Sharkies fan.
What is
Like
happening?
my
Is this a dream?
Nathan
This
Long,
is-
Martin Lang days.
This is the most
But anyway,
incongruous fucking preamble into a
uh,
question. I just, what is...
Thoughts on best clubman? You know, like real, putting it in your terms, Jamie Buhrer type stuff. Anyway, interested in your thoughts. Be you soon.
That is bizarre. I was at a Lime Card at Cordial concert. Thought there were two of them. Actually, there's more. Who's the best clubman?
That's actually got me rattled.
Yeah,
I can't
dude,
even think.
I'm a little rattled. Look, I mean, I don't think it's any. Like, I mean, I heard you throw out Jamie Buhrer, and with the greatest respect to Jamie, that ain't it, bruh. The greatest clubman of all time is Stephen Beaver Menzies. Most tries scored by a forward, third all time, I think.
Fairy Tale, 2008.
Fairy Tale Grand Final.
Trying the GF.
40-0. One club player.
Played like fucking, I mean...
400, 500 games.
I think he played 500 first grade games.
Yeah.
Just loves the club, loves the game.
Yeah.
You see him at every Manly's game.
Mate.
Just strutting around, shaking hands, kissing
Manly
babies.
Game. Now he's helping people with home loans and shit as well on the side, I think. So he's just going big lift after big lift for everyone.
He takes no comms as well.
No.
Does it for free, does it for the love of the people.
Yep.
Likes to see
Just
people in
wants to
homes.
see people go to home.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Australian dream.
The Australian dream. The Peninsula dream.
Yeah.
So shout out to Beaver Menzies, the greatest clubman of all time. He will remain such until the sun swallows the earth.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that truly bizarre fucking dribble.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, punters and dribblers. It's the little city dribbler here. Of being too much of a city boy to go spotlighting Crocs in a fucking tinny fame.
Sure.
I just wanted to alert you boys as to amongst the plethora of shit tips last week, you've actually missed out on a bit of a celebrity win. The One Nation dribbler, the second favourite nephew of Pauline Hanson, Michael Green, coming through with the $7 win at race 9 Randwick. And let me tell you, boys, Arnie Pauline is upset. He's been looked after.
He's got a second dribble with just
So hang on.
10 seconds.
So someone in the group is Pauline Hanson's nephew?
Well, is that true?
Yeah, is that metaphorical or is that otherwise?
Is that like
it's
a
too
troll?
random.
You think it's too random to be a troll?
Don't you think so?
I don't know, dude. Apparently, Alan Border's son listens, I think. The son of some famous former Australian cricketer, I swear. Someone DM me about this.
I mean, is it surprising, really?
No, absolutely not surprising, but I'm pretty sure AB's son, like, there was something about when someone was doing, like, the quant models on, like, the greatest player in the 30s or some shit. Somehow Alan Border came up. Anyway.
Look, if you are Pauline
If you are
Hanson's nephew,
Or Pauline Hanson herself.
then yeah,
Then we'd
good on
love to
you.
get you and Dave into a room so you can talk through some of the nation's biggest issues. Pauline and Dave, you know what I mean? Like, that would be fucking hilarious. I'm assuming Dave not a huge Pauline fan and Pauline not a huge D or Dave fan. I know they've clashed on social media before, so I'd like to see a one-on-one.
I'd be open to it.
There you go. What do you reckon, Ed?
Sure.
We could get a sponsor on board.
Yeah, I'm sure we could.
He did have a second dribble, only 10
Fuck
seconds.
the end of that one up, boys. Little city dribbler here. Don't dribble and merge. Fucking just wanted to end on beers soon. One Nation never.
Sure. Absolutely agree with you there. Don't know what's going on today. Not quite sure. It could be us. Maybe we're the common denominator. Maybe we've just
that's what I'm starting to think. Maybe my brain's just not computing this
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
Maybe they're always like this.
Yeah, and
I've just never noticed until today.
Until you're completely just stripped back of any serotonin.
Right. Feeling this one won't be any better.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, P's and D's, what's going on? Just driving along with one of the boys. Just did a nasty fart, like a real nasty fart, thick, like I could feel it when it was coming out. One of the boys reckons he can taste the food particles. Just reckons it was rank. Anyway, I got a whiff of it, and I genuinely kind of enjoyed the smell. It don't cancel me, but you know, you boys ever had a fart where you genuinely like that smells alright, like, or you know, like, or you're like, fuck, that's not a bad one. Yeah. If not, disregard. Yeah. Cheers, boys. Fart soon.
I don't have a sense of smell. Fart dribbler, whatever your fucking name is. I can't smell, so I don't know what farts smell.
Was there a
like.
question in there?
I think he's asking about, like, do you like the smell of your own farts? I mean, you sound like maybe you're from Victoria, because I'm sure.
A lot of Victorians getting up to that sort of work.
Yeah. That's like the way one of their, like, you know, not national holiday. What is it, like a state holiday, a public holiday down there?
Well, it's Labor Day,
Yeah.
which is actually code for fart sniffing day.
Yeah.
So
everyone gets their favourite bit of Tupperware and they just fart into it all day, and then they eat a heap of beans and fucking soup.
yeah, and store it up for the winter months.
Get in there and just start fucking sniffing it back. So no, I don't. Like, again, I can't smell, but I try and avoid the smell of fart. Or, like, if I know a fart's in the air, I'm not taking deep lungfuls of fucking air, I tell you.
Righto, let's move on.
Well, I mean, Eddie, do you like the smell of your own farts, ever, mate? I mean, they come here for the answers. I feel like you need to give it to him. He's asked you, is there ever a fart you do that you can sit back, fucking stew on, and just go, you know what?
No.
Okay, there we go. Answered.
Hey, boys. Jill Dave. Quick one. The Brent Gretzky rhetoric got me thinking about the long and hilarious history of horrendous brothers to throbbers. And obviously that goes across all sports. But it also got me thinking about the rare occasions when there's a brother or a sibling of a throbber that's actually a bit of a throbber themselves. And so I wanted to know, in your opinion, an example, you know, Matty Johns to Joey. Obviously Joey's amazing, but Matty was pretty decent in his own right. So I wanted to see if you guys could think of a list of the best siblings of throbbers ever. Doesn't have to be restricted to league. I mean, obviously that's probably your wheelhouse, but I don't know, things like cricket, the War Brothers maybe, but then who's the alpha? I don't know. Anyway, siblings of throbbers. Let them hear it.
Yeah, look, with the greatest respect to this gentleman, this is a topic that we have covered at length in previous podcasts, and I would encourage you to consume the entirety of our back catalogue as quickly as possible.
And in there you will find it.
And you will find it. But yeah, obviously, Trebojevic has come to mind. The Stewart brothers, the Campbell sisters, if you want to get into swimming. You know, did you say the Wars? I think you did.
Again, we've covered it. Sorry, but
it's a fair one. There are shitloads of beaters siblings, but there's also like siblings, the Morris brothers, just equally alpha.
Not equally.
Relatively.
Yeah, just one has 2 rings and one doesn't.
Yeah, that's tough. That's real tough for Josh. Let's keep moving.
He's got a second. It's a short one.
Sorry, boys. Me again. Quick double dribble. I also just wanted to add, a couple of weeks ago, there was a dribbler with anti-headgear rhetoric. What a fucking shit take. I mean, with everything that's going on right now with CTE, and you're going to say headgear's ever? Never, sorry. You know, we don't want to walk around with a world full of hoppers. One hopper's enough. So headgear's never. You just wind up with a whole litany of dribblers, and we've got enough of those. Anyway, cheers. Headgear soon. Bye.
Fair point. Not enough room for 2 hoppers in the world. You know what I mean? I think there's one. One is enough. He's good. I love him.
We love the hop. We do.
But
point taken. Do headgear do anything?
No, they stop
scientifically.
Cuts. They stop cuts, not concussions.
So that's food for thought.
Yeah.
But you know, cuts can get infected and lead to staph.
And dude, it's a whole other problem then, right? You know.
And then you got staph.
Or you know, like there's an issue with the stitches, and then you've got to get it taken out and restitched again. The recovery time's extended and blown out by at least another week.
So you know, from that perspective,
maybe headgears are.
You know, there we go.
Yeah.
But in terms of concussions, do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I got knocked out wearing a headgear. So if that's any, because I just got hit on the chin.
Well, NFL, they were helmets, and we all know what's happening over there.
You can't put a headgear on a chin, Eddie. I've always said it.
Well, you probably could. Chin guard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know.
Put your chinny on.
Is he wearing a chinny? Was he wearing a chinny? No, he wasn't. Oh, well, there you go. Does the chinny just stop cuts, or is it concussions? Who knows? Chinny soon.
Food for thought.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, Dave, punters and dribblers. Full quid kid calling in or dribbling in. Overseas at the moment on essential work, working those long hours. So I can't get to a phone to call the dribble hotline like a man. Forced to send in a cowardly, clean, crisp, pre-recorded audio, so apologies for that. First of all, just want to say RE, the Tim Tam dribble and the it being like currency to foreigners overseas. Having done a lot of work overseas with a lot of foreigners, can confirm that is absolutely true. That is good information. You can take that to the bank, the Bicky Bank. But I digress. Gill's piece arrived at NRL HQ, 21 Feb. Slithered up St. PVL's trouser leg and attached itself after, I think, 306 days of sustained effort. So that is done. That is dusted. That's got a bow on it. I just want to thank Gill's piece directly for calling in last week and giving the dribblers an update on yourself, GP. So good on you for calling in. I didn't hear it. Looking forward to the supercut now. GP's journey sliced into one nice little audio, video product. Looking at you, Dior Dave. Love yous, miss yous. Bye.
I don't know what he's talking about with Gill's piece calling in. Did we miss that? We certainly didn't play it.
I don't remember hearing that.
I don't know. Well, if he heard it, I don't know where he heard it from.
Where the fuck's he heard it?
Is he
Maybe,
dreaming
or is
now?
he,
He's
or is he
dreaming.
saying that Gill's piece called him?
Maybe Gill's piece called him.
Listen, if Gill's piece is listening, please reach out. I mean, it's no longer Gill's piece, but, you know, the piece formerly known as Gill's piece. We'd love to hear about your journey. And then if we've got an illustrator out there, then we're happy to provide you with the 3 dribbles and you will illustrate the journey. I feel like that'd be
for
nice.
free.
Well, 100%, but for a baggy green, if you fancy yourself as that, if you've got that capability, which would be shocking if you did. Let's keep going, hey? It was a beautiful trip, that one.
It was.
That was
Long,
quite a
arduous.
journey. That was a 300-day journey for all the punters and dribblers.
306.
306.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, just wanted to break a story. That'll be breaking up here in Brisbane in the next couple of weeks, I would assume, instead of with Peter Padell at the Courier Mail. Went and had coffee on Racecourse Road in Brisbane on the weekend, and who was sitting at the table next to me? None other than Israel and Maria Folau. So I guess the only thing that we can deduct from this is that the Brisbane Broncos will probably have one of the most formidable spines of all time assembled once they also sign Cameron Smith. So Smith, Croft, Milford and Folau at the back, which would probably rival Smith, Cronk, Inglis and Slater.
That's one of the great
and also another
fucking
breaking news
loads of
item
shit I've ever heard in my life.
For Netball Australia, Maria Folau to the Queensland Firebirds. Premiership for the Broncos soon.
Look, I hate to burst your bubble, but we have friends in high places.
Yeah, we've got the
You can
ear of a
probably
few
work
people.
out who that is, who said in no uncertain terms that Israel Folau would never be approved to return to the rugby league, to NRL specifically. So it's a pipe dream.
Unless he signed like some ironclad fucking contract to never touch social
Nah,
media again.
I don't think so.
Or say a word.
No, it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
And to say that, this is what he just said there. I don't know if you missed that, but I just need to try and just take a moment to reflect that if Israel were to play, that the Broncos' spine would be Turpin, Milford, Croft, Folau, and that would be a spine to rival
Well,
Smith.
he did say providing they sign Smith as well as Folau. So have
Okay.
Smith at 9.
So if they
But
sign
still,
Smith, so
I agree
Smith,
with what you're about
Milford,
to say.
Croft, Folau would rival Smith, Cronk, Inglis, Slater. Now, I don't know what world that is because fucking 90% of your two halves haven't even represented their country. Is there a Dally M in there? All Cameron Smith, who's 100.
I don't know what planet he's on.
Camp Bronk. Different planet.
Yeah, different planet. Mate, that spine gets fucking nowhere near.
No, that spine gets pumped.
Every day of the week. And it's basically because the halves you mentioned.
Yeah, and also the fact that it won't happen because
top 10 halves in the comp.
And Folau ain't coming
Let alone
back.
all timers.
Yeah.
And Folau's not coming back. So, you know. Thanks for the dribble.
With the greatest respect.
Tom, Eddie, your punters and the dribblers, just as I admire King Gutho pitching a tent in the season launch today and a week out from the return of the greatest game. And, just thinking, should ask you boys over the past few years, what moments of rugby league have made you pitch a tent in your own pants, and also what you're most looking forward to this year? It's going to be a good season. Can't wait. Baron Dribbler here. Soon, Middy's never.
No.
Cheers.
Next one. Like it was fine, but I mean, it's just like a reflection on fucking what Menzies scoring a try, Manly winning grand finals.
Yeah, g'day boys. It's the Castlemaine Dribbler here, just calling in just to tie a bow on the whole GOAT discussion that's been happening lately. I understand there's been some appreciation from a statistical standpoint in the dribbles lately, so just brought to everyone's attention. There was a book written recently by statistician Charles Davis comparing all of the greatest sportsmen from each of their respective sports, used standard deviations to compare them to the rest of their cohort. To list off the top 5, you've got Michael Jordan, Jack Nicklaus, Ty Cobb, Pele, Bradman. Michael Jordan, 3.4, Jack Nicklaus, 3.5, Ty Cobb, 3.6, Pele, 3.7, Bradman, 4.4. Head and shoulders, go to GOATs. Just think that the numbers don't lie. And that's just about it. See you soon. Cheers.
Didn't hear Wayne Gretzky mentioned at all in there.
No, I didn't hear him mentioned, but what I heard mentioned was that Bradman, the GOAT of GOATs.
Yeah.
That's what we'd said. That was
Yeah.
all that really mattered.
Yeah.
I don't know why Wayne Gretzky
Keeps getting fucking
thrown around.
Some weird ass fucking
The original dribble was about like top 10 GOATs, but we only really cared about who was number 1, and that was
Yeah.
Bradman. And then, you know, Wayne's not high enough on the list. Fuck Wayne.
Fuck
Wayne plays
Wayne.
a sport no one else plays.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
No one gives a shit. But he was so much better. Nah, bro, just shut the fuck up.
No offense to Wayne.
No, with the greatest respect to Wayne.
And great, you know, we're fans of Wayne's work. Wayne knows that. We've broken bread with Wayne before. Wayne's a friend.
But Wayne knows that if it comes between him and the Don and us and the Don, it's like Wayne can kick rocks. Fuck off, Wayne, because the Don's the man.
I find it interesting that Jack Nicklaus has a standard deviation that high, given that Tiger holds almost every record except for majors. Like I think Tiger holds the vast majority of golf records, except for majors.
Is it anything to do with like majors won based on majors played?
Don't know. He got second in a fuckload of majors as well. Maybe that helps play into it.
Yeah, just like overall performances across all of them. Who knows? Interesting though.
Yeah. Well, there's only one metric that matters, isn't there?
Yeah. I like that. What did he say the name of the book was? I'm not going to go back to listen to it, but
Goats and standard deviations.
Yeah. Just put that into Google and you'll find it.
Yeah. Thanks, brah. I like the stat ones.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Boys, I don't know if this is too much to ask for, but can you fucking sort out the sound levels a bit, please?
Tom?
The fucking volume on the ads in this potty is out of control. My fucking ears are bleeding. Anyway, still love you, but fuck, man. Get it together. Bye.
So is this motherfucker complaining in, 200 fucking 50 plus podcasts that because on one that the ads might have been a bit loud to get it together. You know what I mean? Like, you say get it together to someone who's like consistently fucking up. If the ads are a bit loud, bruh, you know what? Get the fuck over it with the greatest respect. But I will make sure they're quieter. You can't be coming at me on a Monday with this sort of... Well, actually, it's Dave. In all fairness, it's Dave's fault.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'll get on it.
That's cool, bro. It's all right.
G'day, Tom and Eddie and dribblers. The Steel dribbler here. Just wanted to open up a point of discussion as we finish off our summer of cricket with the Indians fucking toweling up the English boys. Opening up a point of discussion, World 11 of all time. I've got a list here, and I reckon it's pretty good, but possibly might open up some points on the Facebook page. So here we go. Opening the batting, we've got Alistair Cook, Matthew Hayden. Then we've obviously got the Don at number 3, like that goes without saying. Ponting, Tendulkar, Palace at 6. Then we've got Sangakkara, 7. Shane Keith Warne at 8. Jimmy Anderson. Harry Hosegood. Hasn't taken that many wickets, this bloke, but fucking just a bit of scare factor in there. So Harry Hosegood at 10, and then Glenn McGrath at 11. Let us know what you think, and open for discussion, as said before. Cheers.
I think the selection of Harry Hosegood at 10's inspired.
Yeah, that is inspired. That's a nice one, you know.
I can't really knock that side.
I can't.
The only thing I would say is that Alistair Cook, he scored a mountain of runs, but his average wasn't that good.
It was still 50, I think.
I don't think so. I think it was low 40s.
I also need, like, it's like Smudge, Coley, Gilchrist. I know Sangakkara's average is like fucking 60s, but he also
played Bangladesh 3 times a year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, no
Alistair
offense.
Cook in tests averaged 45.
45. Not a bad average, but, you know, is it what we need up the top? I don't know. I don't know if it is.
Look, we can leave him there tentatively. Yeah, look, where do you put Smudge in that side, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
No, there's not really any.
Unless you got him bowling leggies for Hosegood.
I don't know. Hosegood's pretty fucking tight, man. I think it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Great. You know what?
I'd probably take Sangakkara out and put Gilly in. Why? Because I like a bit of firepower down the order.
Yeah. Not enough Aussies in the side.
No. Look, Tendulkar may have to make way for Smudge.
There is every chance that Sachin's going to have to kick rocks. With the greatest respect.
They're the changes I'd make.
Good
Fair.
dribble.
Fair. Let's press on.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, punters and dribblers. It's the stats man back for another dribble.
Good.
Love that.
There's been a lot of chat lately about Gretzky and ice hockey, so I thought I'd ring in and give you a stat about Don Bradman. We all know that the Don has an average of 99, and this compares to other greats of the game like Smudge, 61, Labuschagne, 60, Kane Williamson, 54, Chappell, Tendulkar, 53, Lara and Coley, 52, Ponting, Hussey, Steve Waugh, 51, Hayden, Border, Viv Richards, 50, Clark, 49, Warner, 48. But these are all players that we know from modern times. We think Smudge is good now, but we can't compare him to people not born yet. We can only compare him against his peers and those from the past. And that got me to thinking, so how did the Don stack up against his contemporaries? It turns out that in all time, over the years, there's only been 42 players who've averaged over 50 in Test cricket. And now that's not many at all. But when the Don retired in 1948, that number was a mere 7. 7 players had finished their careers with averages of 50 plus. President and CEO of that exclusive club was the Don with 99. Then came the Englishman Sutcliffe, 60, Painter, 59, Hammond, 58, Hobbs, 56, Tilsley, 55, and then the Australian Jack Ryder at 51 was the last member of this exclusive club. So while Wayne Gretzky might be great and a fitting second place, the Don is just next level incomparable. Be soon.
Statsman's done it again.
Yeah, love that.
Love that. 7 when the Don was doing his thing.
Yeah, I tell you what helps me get through these Mondays. Just stats reminding us all as to the greatness of the Don.
Yeah.
You know?
Statsman just calling in, dropping his sack on the table and going, I'm still best on ground in terms of stats delivered.
Yeah. When in need, turn to the Don and stats around the great man.
Yep.
Because I'll see you through a barrage of Monday morning bounces.
Can you believe that after the Statsman, you know, just now that we grow in sort of knowledge and understanding of who the Statsman is as a man about stats, that after his first stat, that someone even felt the need to call in and chip him about his stats? Like, who the fuck isn't getting around Statsman every time he rolls into his...
If you don't like stats, you wouldn't like Test cricket.
Yeah, and if you don't like Test cricket, you're not a friend of ours.
You can't hate stats, and you know what I mean. It's
the best game for stats.
Exactly, it's built for stats, built off stats.
Let's move on.
Thomas, Edward, Dior, punters and dribblers. It's Fezman calling from beautiful Brisbane. I've been thinking lately about housemates and who is your best and who is your worst. Everyone's got some good stories there. You want me to go first on the drum? Yep. My worst, 100%, Thomas Gardner. Clinically allergic to alcohol, so a few beers on a Friday night would see him dead for an entire weekend, stuck in his cave. Never cooked, never cleaned, never really did anything positive aside from a breakout game for Colts 1 against Brothers for Jeeps circa 2009. The best housemate, Patrick Shield. We were 17, 18, living in a share house. Mostly focused on playing shitty club Colts footy.
This is such a fucking
not a lot
drill.
of work,
It's just
not a lot of
dribblers.
activity.
It's just...
Pat had a
Someone
steady
said to me on the
money
weekend,
drive,
they go,
bringing in the dollars.
if you give the dribblers a voice, they will abuse it.
Necessities such as Guitar Hero,
This is abuse of the hotline.
This is absolute abuse.
not a lot of work, not a lot of fucking uni. So big shout out.
He's still going.
Fuck you to Tom Gardner, you little snake cunt. And yeah, see you soon, boys. Yeah, cheers.
Oh my god, he's just called up to fucking rip a couple of dudes, a couple of housemates,
And praise one.
Rip one, praise one. We have no idea who they are. We have no context of anything. It's one of the greatest dribbles I've ever heard.
Save that.
Save that. Save that. That is the most.
He's got a second one.
Oh, fuck.
It's only 40 seconds.
Okay.
Hey boys, sorry, it's Fezman still calling from beautiful Brisbane. I feel a bit bad about the harsh sign-off against Thomas Gardner in my last dribble. I'm a big fan of treating your mates like a hedge. You cut them back and then they grow back stronger than ever. So a big shout out to Guardsy as well. Recently found out that he's having his first child.
Oh, dude, this is not it, bruh. What the fuck?
Guardsy.
You are fucking cut him off now. We're done. We're done here with this cunt. Well done. Archive the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably have to archive the whole thing, but that was, in like the truest sense of the word, complete and utter dribble. That was just like words and that's now exists in a recording that just fills up the space. Like
That happened.
That's valuable bandwidth and time of life that no one will get back.
What do they say that, like, you know, statistically everything will happen? Like everything that
can happen will happen.
That's proof.
That's proof.
That's proof
that everything will happen and can happen except for Parramatta winning a comp.
Well, they've won one. They won't win anymore.
Winning one again. Yeah. They definitely won't. But that was fucking... that was wild. Yeah, best housemate, worst housemate, don't know. I'm not going to... But, I mean, we were housemates.
Street,
yeah. Street was probably the worst in terms of damage to property done and contributions to general upkeep.
To rent and upkeep.
He once, I'm going to be very vague around how I say this, was in the shower when him and Carly would, I'll edit out the name. When him and his misso, when they're very hungover, when they were in the house, they would just like sit in the shower for like 40 fucking minutes.
This was a particularly long one. This would have gone into the hours.
Yeah, this is in the hours. Like just hung, sitting in the shower, hot water on you. Like they'd sometimes probably put chairs in there, but they sat on the floor on this occasion. Didn't realise that one of their fucking bum holes was covering the plug, like the drain. And I don't know how you don't see outside the shower that it's flooding, but they flooded the entire bathroom and then out into his bedroom, which was carpeted.
Flooded his whole carpet, and it was damp for... I mean, this would have been in winter, and things don't dry in winter in that house.
No.
And...
it was just wet.
It was damp.
Yeah.
And it smelt like dirty, damp carpet.
He would never... clean. Like he never did dishes.
We once went and got every single pot and pan that he hadn't cleaned up and
put
them on his bed
and
he didn't notice.
He didn't even notice. Like
how does he not notice?
His bed
he thought he'd left them there.
What, pots and pans? He's like, oh yeah, that's where I put them, on my bed.
Filled with pots. He made pasta, and there was literally like when you see it, you go like, "There's pasta on the cabinetry." Like fucking like it looks like Evie when she's eating food, like just throwing it around. And it's all just sit there, and I was like, "Fuck this cunt!" In textbook passive aggressive housemate move, not even really passive. It's pretty fucking forwardly aggressive. Filled his bed with pots and pans, and he had no idea. And that actually meant he won because that infuriated us even more.
He did win. He's a genius.
Yeah, he also fucking put about 7 holes in walls, some intentional, some unintentional.
Thanks for the dribble, mate.
Thanks for the dribble. That was humongous.
How we looking, Dave?
Yeah, still a few more.
Oh fuck! All right, let's go.
How many though?
Let's just pump. I don't want to fucking even think about it.
We're still we're at Saturday, which is good. So
There's a few more.
2 more days of dribbles.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, punters and dribblers. It's the stats man back for another dribble. There's been a...
Hang on.
That makes me anxious to think about how
What's
many we
going
got
on,
left.
fellas? It's Big Fuckhead Dribbler here. First of all, I just wanted to say commiserations to you, Tom. After back-to-back Bucks weekends, I can only imagine how dusty you are this morning. Hope you pulled up okay.
I haven't.
I'm still fucking puffed from my surf this morning at Bronte. I went with a friend from Noosa who's just an absolute fucking weapon. I've been surfing for like a month, and I just let my fucking alpha male get the best of me as I just followed him out into some of the fucking biggest swell I've ever seen. Next thing I knew, I was on the Bronte Expressway straight to the fucking rocks. Fucking scary, bro, but I managed to get out okay. Pretty fucking lucky. The lifeguards were there and everything, fucking throwing me those fucking floaty yellow things.
Oh, shit.
So eventually I
Really?
just had to relegate myself to the beachfront and watch the big boys get to work. Really made me think back to Milso's most recent dribble. You never know when it's going to be your last surf, boys. Anyway, the main reason for this call was just to apologise for my dribbles last week. I was having some late Thursday afternoon beers, and the next thing I knew, it was 3:30 a.m. and I was 9 dribbles deep. The quality was obviously deeply declining as the night went on. I'd pretty much forgotten about it until I was listening to the most recent podcast, and you got to the dribbles and my heart just fucking sunk. I was ready for a licking of a lifetime, man. I was just sitting there like, what the fuck did I even say? So, little warning to the dribblers out there. Drink and dribble responsibly. You don't want to end up where I did, shitting yourself trying to remember what the fuck you even said on the hotline last week. All the best, boys. See you soon.
Mate, it's a lesson learned. I don't know what he was more scared of when he was in the surf about to get swept under the rocks, or when he thinks that there's 9 dribbles about to be played. Probably the latter.
We cut him, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Well, I mean, we live in a post Eden and Jonah birthday party fame world where it was like...
I probably need 12 months off, like... that many dribbles.
Well, Big Tasty was the first up to do it, right? You go, if you're the first man to do it, then you're probably going to get the recognition you deserve. But as we've said, the Eden and Jonah dribblers, great men as they are, they didn't even dribble. Like, what they were saying wasn't good. Like, at least with the Tasty boys, they were talking about Bedsy being the best 7 Newcastle's ever produced. Things like that, like... Plus, I mean, you can't go past just the ensemble. Tasty, Big Tasty, Guava Lover, Fumes, Ghosty. And is it Ghosty who got us the manly fucking golf bags?
Have you been using that manly golf bag?
No, I completely fucking forgot when I was...
Where are they?
They're just sitting in my office.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, you're more than welcome to come grab it, brother.
I will.
Or just don't, and then we wait until we get our own studio and just have them in there as like a real sort of... That's what I think I'm going to do with mine anyway. It's like a nice ornamental...
You're not going to play with it?
Yeah, look, I probably will. Who knows? I like the look of it, though, in my office. I like the look of both of them in my office, to be honest. But we're going to when we get our own space. Anyway, I don't think we should be talking any more than we need to here, though, because we got a lot to go.
Let's press on.
G'day, boys. It's Snake the Tank Dribbler. I'm just an average campaigner, long-time listener, first-time caller. Just want to talk about the hot boxes in Australia and where the best ones lay. And I'm a northern New South Wales boy, and some of the best hot boxes I've ever come across. Number one is Yogi's at Corindi. Honestly, the best fucking devil wings you've ever had in your life. Salt and vinegar tenders, literally make dreams come true. Second place goes to Canamble Road Box. Underrated because it obviously feels like it's been there a fair while, but it still tastes fucking good. Third place is actually Burke because they brew their own fucking soda in Burke. You know, it's unbelievable. But anyways, boys, next time you're out in the northwest, let me know. I'll take you to a hot box. It'll be fucking good. Hot box means fried food for all you city slickers out there. Cheers.
Nice. Well, look,
Love that.
I love that. That's more of a recommendation than anything else.
It's made me hungry.
Yeah, it has. I was thinking about chicken tenders the whole time he said that. Salt and vinegar chicken tenders from Plumer Road. Now, in this current state, I don't know that I should have one. Like, I'd be up for it. But my mouth is watering literally just thinking about it. Salt and vinegar chicken tenders are so fucking good. So good. I tell you what I'm going to do after this, Eddie. Can I just be honest with you? After I finish recording this, I'm going straight down to Plumer Road.
Chips and gravy?
No, I'm going to get a roast chicken roll with gravy and mayo and all the trimmings. Maybe a couple of chips thrown in there. But that's going to be my breakfast. I'm going to indulge in it. I'm going to fucking get home and just, carry out my responsibilities like a man who, if you rip yourself apart on the weekend, you have to be able to back up and do what you need to do on a Monday. But I'm just going to be doing it at, a much more. There's going to be like a malaise to my pace today, which I think is fair.
Couldn't agree more. On we go. Shout out to chips and gravy.
G'day guys, Hamish Corner here, the Brumbies dribbler. Just wanted to say, how good was that kick from Ryan Lonergan? Rugby in Australia is in good hands. Cheers, guys.
Missed it, sadly. Didn't see the kick from the household name Ryan Lonergan.
No, I missed it as well. I was in Melbourne.
Did anything? Did you see it, Dave?
Nah, not that. I think I saw they won by like 3 points or something.
Nice.
Waratahs lost again.
By 4.
Yeah, they were up like 13-0.
Force.
13-0.
They were up 13-0
yeah,
and they
right.
lost like 2017, whatever it was.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
It was a good red card, good punch thrown.
Oh, nice.
That was the most exciting thing.
See,
in
now
rugby
why
in
isn't
this
that
weekend.
fucking pushed out on socials? That's how you get around the game.
I don't think they have social media teams anymore.
Yeah, I know. That's tough.
They're just writing letters to the paper.
Yeah.
G'day, P's and D's. I'm here celebrating the birthday of the one and only Union dribbler of live Reece Hodge conversion attempt dribble fame. He turned 26 tonight, so if I can get a big shout out for the Union dribbler.
Happy
I'd like
birthday.
to quickly mention a brush with Wayne that I had at El Topo. But before I do that, shout out to all the gay P's and D's tonight, Mardi Gras. We're celebrating in true gay fashion by getting our lips around as many blokes as possible in 24 hours.
Very true.
Anyway, circa 2014, Waratahs got fresh off a premiership win at El Topo. At El Topo, Bono Junction with Kurtley Beale, good friend of the show, and Vernon Foley of Hottest Bumpkin in Australian rugby fame. At the bar, ordered a couple of vodka, coke and raspberries or BCRs for the intellectual. Turn around, Kurtley Beale fucking cutting shapes as you would expect him to do. Spilled my VCR everywhere. And then didn't offer to buy me a replacement. So, Curtly, if you're listening, mate, you owe me a VCR. Cheers, never. Bye.
I would say good luck getting that.
Yeah, that's probably... Listen, I mean, Kurtley listens, so he knows he's gonna know he's been called out here. Kurtley, feel free to reply if you want, but I would understand if you never, ever do. Let's move on. Happy birthday to the rugby injurer.
G'day, Tom, Eddie, Theo, Dave. The question I have goes out to mainly the punters and dribblers out there. My question is, when have you ever outperformed a rugby league superstar on the footy field? Personally, the experience I had was it was a very cold, wet and muddy winter's day down there at Cranbrook Oval, home of the Young Yabbies Rugby Club, Nip Nip, down at the Hilltops region. Anyway, found myself under 17s training. We're doing a bit of a 12-on-12, bit of pilfering, bit of rucking, bit of pills out the front, out the back, mate. You know how it is. Anyway, my opposite number that I just happened to found myself with was the one and only Angus Crichton. Anyway, me and Crichton were just there. Anyway, pill ends up getting thrown out to me. I catch the pill, run straight at Angus Crichton. He goes to line me up, and last minute, I put on the last second goosey, and Crichton just slips over, arse overhead, and fucking straight into the mud in the cold fucking dirt. And I get straight past him. Anyway, what the question comes back to is, when have you ever outperformed or shown up a sporting superstar on the rugby field? That's my question to the punters and dribblers and you blokes yourselves. If you got a yarn about it, but yep, that's my dribble for now. Anyway, Hilltops dribble out. For the Young Yabbies, yep.
Yep. I don't think I've ever outperformed any fucking professional athlete, but funnily enough, I was watching Crichton's interview on Bloke in a Bar, which is good, the podcast, and then at some point they mentioned his school highlights. I think Crichton said like he edited his own highlights and sent them to rugby league clubs, like to the Roosters when he was playing for Scots. So I just went and fucking looked at some Crichton highlights, and when he was playing for Scots, fucking dominated, bro. Like, also, he was playing in the centre, so he got a bit more maybe like early ball space, but he's got a goosey on him, dude. He's got some footwork that you just don't really see a lot of in rugby league. He was stepping motherfuckers like it was going out of fashion and gooseying people and getting through the line. He was very good. Has a pass on him. It's funny, like, because he's obviously playing in the forwards. Obviously, you know, he still does things like I think last year he threw like a fucking 2-man cutout pass for one of the Roosters wingers to score.
Did. Yeah.
But it was just interesting to see his schoolboy shit and be like, fucking hell, man. Shredded. You see that and you go, of course he's playing professional fucking rugby league.
Like, did he cut up his own highlights?
Well, that's like Goa.
Yeah,
that's
what you
Goa.
gotta do, mate.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Unfortunately, I didn't have the editing software at the time, so I couldn't do
it was too early.
Yeah, it was too early. I couldn't do it myself.
Yeah, it was too early.
And no one obviously felt the need to do it for me.
No, I haven't showed up anyone.
No. But I like the idea of dribblers. I like this to potentially be a thing of like, you know, either send us in or like whether it's dribble it in or whatever, but like, again, 90 seconds as closer to it as possible. But when you've showed up an athlete, don't mind it. Let's go.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, punters. The dribblers. Big dog dribbler here. I just want to end the debate between Joey and JT about who's better. Have you seen JT's back tattoo, Angel Wings? Obviously beater. Next. Also, I just want to discuss the most redundant coaches in sport. John Buchanan, Michael Hagan, 2001 Knights. The list goes on. Anyway, boys, if you want to point out a few more, that'd be great. But Andrew Johns is obviously superior to Angel Wings Thurston. Be soon, boys.
John Buchanan is the top of the redundant coach list.
Yeah, and probably
knows it.
Anyone that coached the Australian rugby league team during the Cameron Smith, Inglis, Thurston, fucking Lockyer era.
Tim Sheens, it was mostly, and he
Sheens.
still managed to lose games.
Yeah, like, you know, you're not doing much there. With the greatest respect, even Mal Meningo.
Yeah, I was about to say, with the greatest respect to Mal, Mal didn't coach that team.
No. with the greatest respect. This mic's fallen off, much like the wheels to this podcast. Yeah, I'm sure there's more, but I think you kind of did well there. It's basically Mal, Tim Sheens, Buchanan. This mic ain't been fixed. Let's move on.
How's it, guys? How's it, the B's and D's? How's it, Dior? Normally I'd take the piss out of you, but I'm going to claim you as one of my own. Joburg Dribbler here. Just calling up. Absolutely love the podcast. Obviously it's late on a Thursday night. Fuck, it's Saturday night. Just calling up to... I'm just going to give it a shout out to all the guys in the B's and D's, specifically Jacko, absolutely legend of a guy.
This is...
and specifically his...
There are fuckloads of P's and D's, bro.
He's absolutely... Jacko, you've got yourself a winner there. Glass, she's all glass. Obviously, you two guys running the podcast, top of the heap, you'd expect nothing more of you two. But I'm just putting it out there to the B's and D's. If you think your better half is better than Jacko, I'm just gonna, give it a shout out. Obviously, it's a big progressive podcast, so if you got a male counterpart that's better than anyone else, give
This
it a go.
is fucking weird.
Bye now.
So do you believe that South African accent?
I don't know. I was trying to work it out as well. It kind of did sound like he was putting it on, but
You reckon? Well, you'd know.
I don't.
I thought it was
totally
bullshit,
sure.
but then
it
I
did
was like,
sound
it didn't wane. It was like the same level the whole time.
I'm not very good with accents.
And he didn't inflect on some of the words he could have said heavily, like some people
exactly,
were putting
which
on
would
accents, yeah.
indicate it's someone trying to put it on.
Yeah, if he was talking about going into his car and the car
Yeah,
park
exactly,
and things like that.
Exactly.
I think it was legit. I don't know what the fuck he was on about though.
No, that was
like better halves and shit.
Like who's punching above their weight and
I
stuff.
don't
think.
know, dude.
Yeah.
And just a specific shout out to Jacko. Let's just.
Was Jacko the one he posted a photo of his misso? And
Yeah, well, Jacko apparently, I don't know, we got nothing to do with it, but apparently there's a plaque that's going up in the name of St. Peter Volandis or a new one, and I don't know if Jacko's the man that's doing it, but apparently it's happening soon. Whatever.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. That probably will get chopped.
Hello, my name's Jerome Thomas, and I've just left Jewel of the Bay in Double Bay on New South Head Road. Danny Weidler picked up his takeaway food, pulled up 2 metres later, and poured out his garbage in his car with his kids on the side of the road and kept driving. It's a fucking disgrace. He's a fucking disgrace.
Jewel of the Bay is an incredible Indian.
Yeah.
It's probably more Rose Bay than Double Bay.
Yeah, it's definitely Rose Bay. Yeah.
Shout out to Jewel of the Bay. That's fucking outrageous.
And
from Danny
Jerome
Weidler.
Taylor for doing a bit of, sometimes the journos have to have a bit of their own medicine there. Danny Weidler allegedly pouring out his rubbish.
On New South Head Road. On quite a beautiful stretch of coastline,
yeah, harbour
line,
harbour foreshore.
Harbour foreshore.
Jerome rightly fucking furious there.
That's pretty ordinary from D. Weidler.
Danny.
Am I shocked?
No,
I'm not.
No, I'm not.
Good dribble.
Good dribble.
Thank God.
Yeah, I know. Fucking hell.
All right, last one.
Yeah, boys, it's the average Joe here. Just a quick one. Last night I found myself watching Australia's Premier Sport Super Rugby. I couldn't notice that, or couldn't help but notice how good the Brumby side was, being from the ACT. Look, I understand that there's strong rugby pathways in Queensland and New South Wales, the GPS, and I also understand, the pathways for, Sydney clubs and Queensland clubs up here in the rugby league, but I just want to know what the pathways are for, prospective players in the ACT. Have they got a strong rugby competition down there? Have they got a strong skill competition down there? Anyway, I thought I'd reach out to the Minister of Sport. I assume you set yourself up down in Canberra. So, yeah, let me know. Thanks, guys.
Look, we definitely aren't set up in Canberra in that cesspool. That's definitely fucking not where we're at. But
look, I think a lot of the talent comes out of Queanbeyan, man. Comes out of New South Wales.
yeah, exactly. It
Goes
does.
across the border.
Goulburn.
Canberra themselves don't produce anything of note.
No.
They've been pillaging off the great state of New South Wales for, since its inception.
Time immemorial.
Yeah. No local talent ever come out of ACT. It's all Queanbeyan and Goulburn stock.
Yeah, they do have a comp up there. I only know one team, the Vikings. Now that could even be their rugby league comp, but I think it's a rugby union one.
Hope that helps.
Yeah, I hope that helps. I feel like with something like that, though, if you want to know, like that's probably a Dior. If you want to know the second tier Canberra rugby feeder clubs, that's 100% a Dior for you, with the greatest respect.
To you.
And to Canberra second tier rugby competition. That's us, Eddie. That's it. We're done.
Bye-bye.
Thank fuck. Bye-bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?